how fucked up is our society when an innocent autistic man is given a life without parole prison sentence for a crime he never committed? I mean, really, how fucked up is that? I mean, it's just honestly just crazy. I mean, this article is titled "Second Suspect Charged in Mutilation." It's about how Paul Modrowski got arrested, but also about what his life has been like. You can read on the bottom here what he went through a lot. See, walking stiff-legged in a Frankenstein-like gait. When he walked down the hallways, people will spread out to get out of his way. That's what Dave Lamonte. Let's see, Dave Lamontane. Is that Lamontane? A little hard name to pronounce. So Modrowski's parents live in a neat house. Okay. Also, he said it was a nickname, but everyone just laughed at him. The former classmate said, "We laughed him in a lot. We didn't know. But now it looks like we shouldn't have. Yeah, because they thought thought he's a murderer, but he's a murderer. He's not. Because look at this. Yep. Story fabricated over Modrowski's role in slaying. Of course, he didn't do anything. And I also have the link to the blog that he wrote. It's titled 19 Years Later by Paul Modrowski. Yeah, he's in prison right now. However, guess what? Okay. He told me to lie because he didn't want to go to jail. Frosty said in court, he told me to blame it all on Modrowski. Yeah, right? And just 2 days after that, January 25th, and guess what? Less than a month later, Farasi acquitted. Acquitted. It means not guilty. That's bad enough. And if that's not bad enough, guess what? Modrowski guilty in beheading. Yeah, and actually, he didn't even commit the murder. Some police officer fabricated a story that claimed he gave his car to... just read right here. I'm going to highlight it for you to make it easier. Multitasking here. Hold on, just give me a sec. Can't do two things at once. Holding an iPad with my left hand and doing that with my right. Here you go. It's a little difficult. Especially if I have Asperger's, and probably no one could do that. So, based on one of Modrowski's jurors, said the jury determined that Modrowski's statement still made him accountable for murder under the law. So Modrowski never made a statement like that. Of course he's innocent. It's obvious. I'm sorry about the whole incident, but he should be putting his anger towards the person who actually did it. Okay. Frosty said he felt bad about the anger held by Charles Fawcett of Lagrange, father of Dean Fawcett, who condemned Frosty's jury and its verdict. Good. Frosty's the murderer. The other guy is innocent. Yet, guess what? Life in prison for accountability for supposedly lending a car to a man who was found not guilty. Yeah. Stupid. You're guilty of lending a car to a man who got acquitted. And yet you didn't even lend the car. That's how fucked up this is. There we go. 19 years later and still fighting. This is what I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, this is the one. Life in prison. Look all the way in the bottom. Yeah, autism and speech problems as a child. How he was ostracized by other children and how he seemed to lack normal emotional and pain responses. That's because they're saying that he was sitting with no emotion. Let's see what it says right here. The Madrasky is characterized by the prosecution as cold and unfeeling, and he showed little emotion during the month-long trial and lost most of his during most of his sentencing hearing. However, there was an evidence where he was sitting stone-faced. Right here. Read this part right here. See? It would sit silent and stone-faced, which is typical of people with Asperger's, which means no emotion, stone-faced. So it's not like he was cold and unfeeling, it's that he had Asperger's, autism. That's what these people don't realize. Had this happened today, he wouldn't even gone to jail. He probably would have. Plus, this was in the 90s. There. Read about this part. This part is going to probably just make you really angry. He claims that he was never given his Miranda rights, and unfortunately, I believe him. Fortunately, I believe him because people with Asperger's are notoriously honest and have photogenic memories and are able to remember things in details. Okay, this is where. This is really sad. Read this part. That's because Paul Modrowski was falsely accused by Mr. Farasi of participating in the Palatine Massacre, yet he had nothing to do with it. Just, so people get off of his case. What's so sad about this whole case? Innocent man, life in prison. Thank you for watching. Bye.